One sec. It should be.
I'm still seeing VNN. Okay, there you are. There you are.
Okay. Okay.
Your shirt is very shiny.
Huh? What did you say?
Your shirt is very shiny.
Oh. Yeah. It's popping.
It is popping.
Do you have your Pepsi in your wine glass ready?
I actually am drinking my coffee right now. It is most of the way done, but I probably am going to need another one shortly after I'm done the cast. Because, man, I have been fucking up my sleep schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I went to bed last night at like 4:30.
Real gamer alert.
Yeah, no, it's happening. It's happening. I mean, my schedule right now is so just dislocated because I'm like, even my work is just writing stuff. So I don't know. I also definitely have the problem of like when I get it partway through a draft, it's really hard to walk away.
Mm. Have you been playing a lot of Artifact since the open beta?
Yeah. I've been definitely jamming.
Have you had some perfect runs yet?
A lot of fun. I've been playing just like mono draft.
Mm.
You know what like is weird about the draft? Honestly, I have been like I've done over a dozen drafts at this point. I think I was red like once or twice.
Really?
Yeah,
so you
I've
don't
been almost never am red because like, the thing for red is like if I don't open a good hero, I just don't want to go to red.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess Stonehall Elite is pretty good, and I guess I've been red twice ish. But yeah, it's like by far my least drafted.
Really? What is your favorite?
I have a lot of fun with blue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do with that in the draft. I mean, it's not easy. But like cards like Prelix, oh man, Prelix is so good.
Really? Because I hear some people say that, and I've tried her a little bit, and I've tried playing her, but also playing against her, and I usually wreck her and don't have much have good games when I play with her. Have you won with her, or do you just like the?
Oh yeah. I won a lot.
Oh, have you had any perfect runs?
Yeah, I had one perfect run. What was
nice.
I don't know if I had Prelix in my deck for that one. I don't think so.
I don't think that hero is good, Neon.
What's that?
I don't think that hero is good.
Prelix?
Yeah.
It's so good. You got it wrong. I promise you, it is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'm having a 3-win run right now with her in my deck. Do you know? I guess you don't know Hearthstone at all, do you?
I played it like once on an iPad, but no, never.
Okay. So I actually there's a high profile Hearthstone streamer who goes by the name online name Dog, and his girlfriend too is also big in Hearthstone. Her name is Hafu, and I actually ran into them on like my first day playing Artifact, and they've been in the beta for forever. So and I beat them. We both actually had Prelix on our deck, and it was a lot of fun. Vanomancer is also one that I probably like more than I should. Zeus is great.
I think my favorite colors actually is green and black in combination.
Yeah, that's one that I definitely enjoy. I feel like this is content that we should be saving for the guests in some ways. Go off on all of this stuff. There's a lot to say. Is anybody? Hello, chat. Is there somebody in the chat who can verify that we are sounding good and that everything is fully operational?
What's popping, gamers? Are you here?
Yeah, we decided that we were going to stream this one live because, why not?
If any of the viewers are unfamiliar, me and Neon and sometimes other people, like for example Simon from the Artificers Guild, we do a weekly podcast called the Secret Shop Podcast. And this week we decided to do it live. So we're gonna see how that goes. But why don't we just start? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get started. Yeah, I've been recording this whole time, but yeah, we can. That'll be fine then. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Secret Shop. I am Yin, and I'm joined today by Anger. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been beta release week, like, just been crazy stuff going left and right. It's been so much fun to actually get into the game, but man, this has been a wild couple of days.
I don't think a lot of people have gotten a lot of sleep.
Yeah, well, those of us inside the beta, and like especially those of us who are doing like the content creation stuff, like you have been going absolutely like wild on the streaming, right? Like you've been doing a ton of that.
I haven't actually, or that depends what you mean by a lot. I have been streaming a little bit, but especially the other day, I was kind of having like a mental breakdown, and I was streaming while I had it. So I don't know. I might remove that stream. I don't know. It was. I'm not sure if it was such a good idea.
For posterity, people can go back and study it and know like this is the day she truly lost it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wanted to be there so people can see that, everything isn't always perfect.
Yeah. No,
it's not always popping.
Before you get a big, this will be like the before, and then there'll be the after. Back when you make it to the Nicki Minaj status.
Yeah, and I noticed because I was just going through some streams when I was posting them on YouTube. And on day one of the beta, I'm like, "What's up, guys? What's popping?" I'm super happy and cheery. And then day two, I'm like, "What's popping, gamers?"
All your energy's been drained already. Yeah, no, it's been wild. We've been going hard. There's lots of stuff going on, and it's been a ton of fun. We actually didn't do like a warm-up question though, and I like let's just start with that because I think that's always fun to do. What was your favorite moment so far of post NDA beta action? Like, what was like the thing that happened that you thought was the coolest that you either did yourself or you saw somebody else do?
Well, I think the obvious answer here is the fact that Valve noticed people's distress and actually answered to it and opened the free draft. I think that was a great thing, not just because I want to play free draft, but because I feel like that's a big step that we actually know now that they listen. They actually want to make this game not just for profit, but actually make a good game people are happy about. And I also really enjoyed because I had like a beta key giveaway with a contest where we did like a lore quiz. First I went through the lore and then we had a quiz about it afterwards, and a lot of people actually told me that they did actually learn a lot from it, and that was my intention. So that was really nice. What about you?
I mean, there's a lot of great moments. I think that it was. We were talking about this just before we started recording officially, but it was actually my match against Dog and Hafu. They are Hearthstone personalities, and I've been a long time fan of Dog specifically. He has an interesting style of doing things. And you don't know, it's an interesting thing because he's a very handsome guy, but there's just like this running joke that everybody wants him to take his shirt off on screen. And so like it's like all the donations and everything like that, but like he and his girlfriend Hafu, who is also a high profile Hearthstone personality, I actually battled against them on my first day. We had a really cool game. I blew them out horribly with Annihilation, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And I actually had a chance that transitions into something that I want to remind people about. Is I've been doing these regular daily analysis videos because I'm a psychopath. And one of my analysis videos was actually of that match, but it was from the perspective of Dog and Hafu because I wasn't recording it myself, but they were recording themselves because they were streaming it, and so I took that and did an analysis of it. So you can find that on my channel and a lot of other ones. And just while we're on the subject, I'm also taking submissions for any other games you even want me to analyze and discuss, or like it could be your own games, it could be other people's games, and we'll make sure that that's in the description and linked below, because you have a chance to win a $5 Steam gift card as well if you submit good stuff to that. But anyway, I just wanted to drop that. But let's get into talking about this question about the economy, because I think that this is a really big story and kind of like go by through the TikTok of what happened. So on Saturday morning, we get this release that's talking about the prices of everything and how the 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 whole economy is going to be functioning. That comes out, people are fucking pissed, like losing their mind, angry. Like the Reddit, like a bunch of the top posts are thousands, like hundreds or thousands of upvotes that are all raging about the economy. There was one of these posts that got cross-posted to r/games. It was at the top of the subreddit there. Got like 5,000 karma there. Like, so, like, people were just livid about the economy. So, like, let's first then say, like, what was that people were unhappy about?
Well, the fact that you have to spend so much fucking money on this game to even have fun. Like, not even to be competitive, but just to play casually, you have to spend so much money. And if you want to be competitive, you have to basically be ruined. And I don't know, it's just in general how money-hungry Valve seems, and if that's what you were referring to.
Well, I mean, like, it was just, like, well, like, some of the specific things, because I think there were a couple of specific things that people were saying, like, oh, I don't like this, I don't, like that. Like, one of them, for instance, was this about the common heroes, or, like, the heroes that were in the starter packs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that you can pull the ones that come in the basic decks, you can get them in the fucking card packs, and they essentially are worth nothing. So you can't even, sell them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the thing with that, though, like, that I found weird at the time of, like, why people were so upset with it is, like, okay, like, I don't know off the top of my head of, which of the exact heroes that are the common
I think it's
heroes
Ogre, Necrophos, Sven.
Sorry?
Ogre, Necrophos, Sven. That's the ones you mean, right?
Yeah. But, like, I can't remember which one, like let's say, like, something else would be another common one, like Rix, or something like that. I can't remember which ones are and which ones are not in the decks, but let's say that Rix isn't in the decks. Like, if you open him in a pack, he's worth pretty close to nothing.
Yeah.
Even though he's not, like, doesn't show up in the starter decks, right? Like, people are not going to be buying up copies of Rix. Or Necrophos. Like, none of the common heroes, like, are, like, the most that you're like, you'd be very happy to sell any of the common heroes for a full penny. Like, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why people were so crazy about that specifically. And I think other commons, too. Like, there's, like, other commons that are in these decks that are obviously not going to be worth money anyway, but it was, like, specifically the heroes that people were just, like, losing their minds over, and I have no idea why.
Neon, for example, Necrophos, he's a common hero. He's in the basic deck, so he's worth nothing. I have 7 Necrophoses.
See, that's something that I also find strange, is that it's the idea of, like, having these extra copies for no reason. A lot of the time, I mean, that's something that other games have a solution for that, because you can do something to ditch them, and it just feels weird to have so many extra copies of it. But one of the changes that they said that they're going to do is having some sort of pseudo dusting system where you can throw extra heroes. I don't know if it's just heroes or, like, all common cards or whatever, but you can get rid of them for some percentage of an event ticket.
Yep.
Yeah, and we don't have any details yet about how that works, right?
I don't think so, no. But that, it's better than nothing, because that means essentially you never have to pay for tickets again. But at the same time, if it's one card for one ticket, like, we would have, like, 100
card for one ticket. It's gonna be way less than that.
Oh, so, but okay, so if one ticket is $1, and, like, how many cards do you think would be one ticket? Like, for example, 3 or 4 or what?
Oh, I would be surprised if it was. I'd be very surprised if it was less than 10.
Yeah. So
because the thing is, like, with, like, part of the way in which the economy of a game like this is designed is that there's going to be a certain percentage of the cards that are just trash, right? Like a pretty big. So assuming that it's only heroes that you can throw in there, only heroes, I would expect it to be about 10.
10 heroes for one ticket.
Yeah. No kidding. Because the thing is like the the value of the packs, like so much of it is going to like in the rares and stuff like that that you open too. Because like for instance, if it's like let's say you open a pack and you get a crappy hero, that's just like if it's 10, then you're getting 1/20th of the value of the pack back to you just by opening it like the worst tier of hero, which makes it like it just does weird stuff to the economics.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that maybe people. I hope people don't like lose their minds again with that they say is like 10. Holy Christ, they're so greedy. 10. You know when that happens again, because if people have this expectation that they're just going to be getting event tickets left, right, and center through this kind of a mechanism, I feel like they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, but I wonder how this affects the price of cards, because without this system, you could buy like an Ursa for close to nothing because everybody has like thousands of Ursas, for example. But with the system, if everybody just recycles their Ursas for tickets instead, then maybe the Ursas out there that you can buy, or if you sell your Ursa, you would get more money for it. Do you think? Do you think that would affect?
Well, I think that probably what it's going to be is like, so let's say that it's 10. Let's say that it's exactly 10. In which case, I would expect and I don't know exactly how the Valve store works in terms of like fractions of prices or whatever that are available. I guess since it's 10, that it's fine. So I would expect that Ursa, for example, would be worth about 9 cents. So that it's something that if you are actually no, maybe slightly more than that. Yeah. Because if you just bought them up, then you get free event tickets. So yeah, it would be worth about like 11 cents. So that you're buying them up and then turning them into event tickets. It's not quite efficient, but it does mean that if, like, for instance, you're somebody who says, like, oh shit, I only have 8 of them, and I really want an event ticket to run a draft, I'll just buy up a couple of them for 20 cents, and then I will turn them into an event ticket so that it costs you only 20 cents as opposed to the full $1 to get the event ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does put a value on them, though. Like, it means that they do have some value, which I guess it is nice. And it also is kind of nice not to have, like, after 2 months in the beta, I mentioned there'll be people who have, like, 200 fucking Ursas, which is weird.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is one, though, that I'm very happy about it. Partly, like, I think that this is largely a cosmetic change and a feel-good change in some ways. I think that people will be a little bit surprised by how little difference. I guess we don't have the counterfactual of like what the economy would look like, either like before they made this change. But I don't think that this makes that big of a difference, since it's really just shifting value from certain kinds of cards to certain other kinds of cards. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were like actually streaming when that change was announced too.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun to go through that. So there was that one, and then there's the other one, which is the free casual drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on with that? Have you? Let's read through it. I'll actually just read
through
it.
One thing I noticed is that it's much easier to win in casual draft than expert play, and I think that's because, everyone who's just trying out Artifact for the first time and are in the open beta, they will go casual play just to practice. But in expert play, most of the closed beta people are, and people who actually know how to play the game. So I've noticed that casual play is just so much easier to win.
I have not tried the casual play yet, honestly.
It's so much easier. It's 10 times easier. The first time I tried it, I had a perfect run, while the day before, when I played a lot of expert play, I barely even won at all.
I mean, for me, I really... Well, also, when you were doing it first on the expert play one, like, that was during just, like, the NDA open beta thing, like us plebs weren't allowed in yet. So I imagine once the doors open for the PAX and TI people to get in, and or anybody else who acquired a beta key over the last couple of months, like, the skill level in the expert draft queues probably fell significantly. So that would have made a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
But for draft in that, I personally haven't been trying out the casual drafts because I like the challenge of doing the expert drafts for it, and I've been learning a ton through doing those. I really want to be able to trade some of my packs that I have because I have a few of those that I would love to be able to turn those back into tickets because I'm running out. And
you're going infinite?
Well, I'm hoping to. I mean, it's something that like at this point I have like 3 or 4 packs. If I were able to sell those back, then I could get another 6 to 8 tickets, something like this, and then hopefully be able to try and go infinite. But like I'm like, as of right now, I'm kind of like a little bit below that, but I think that with a little bit more practice, I could definitely go infinite. So that'd be really sweet. But yeah, no, I've been like, and the draft queues, especially when I first started, like the beta drops, and I get in there and I start jamming, like, fuck, this game is so hard.
Yeah,
this game is really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I fucking love this game. It's like fuck all the beta testers that are coming out now saying that the game is boring, they don't like it. And have you noticed how the people who say that, they're all Hearthstone players? I swear, it's not because it's boring, it's because it's too difficult for them, and they want to go back to their safe zone in Hearthstone where they can easily win. But this is too difficult for them to go pro. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not laying any shade, but stop talking shit about this game. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so there are some of the comments about some like different Hearthstone pros were really strange and weird, of like different positionings and etc. for it. For example, here's one that was a little bit bizarre. Was Kripparrian. So he was saying something along the lines of like, the game isn't particularly fun, but he's thinking about it a lot and he's really interested in it.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of a strange take in some ways, because I think that actually what it comes down to, to me, is kind of this. Like, Artifact isn't so much about, it's fun in the same way that chess is fun. Like, it's strategically interesting, but like you're really not getting quite as much of the quote unquote fun that you get from a lot of other video games. You really have to be there for hardcore strategy and in-depth decision making, etc. Because if you're just here for like lulls and crazy stuff happening, there's a lot of games that are a lot funner than from Artifact. If I had to give my evaluation of it, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, comparing it to chess is pretty good.
Yeah. So I think that's what people have to be kind of prepared for and be interested in. Because if you're looking for just a fun game that's kind of like brain dead and you kill a few hours of doing something kind of silly, like Artifact is not the game for that. Like, if you need to put in a lot of mental energy, like every game. This is something that I noticed really quickly too. Was that it feels like every game, basically, you need to use every, brain cell that you have access to. Because it is, like every game feels like it's a competition. Yeah.
And just the exhaustion after every game, like, it drains the brain a lot. And that's not flaming the game, That's good, because that means it's like, you actually have to concentrate. You're actually, like, it's just so high skill, And I think that's because, I don't know, I feel like a lot of games nowadays don't want to risk being too hard because that scares away the casuals. So I think it's a nice fresh breath of air that this game actually is difficult, even for the casuals.
I think that's exactly what I was going to say too, because it is something that, to me, like I play a lot of Eternal, as you know, and maybe a good percentage of the audience knows, and that's a game that, I mean, I enjoy the game. There's definitely skill to the game, but like, I can play the game functionally by like giving it 50% of my brain power. Like, if I want to just kind of like do autopilot and not try hard, like, I can get some wins through doing that, and that's fine. And especially people who just want that out of a game, like, it's good to have access to that. That is a good thing to have in the world. If you're just like, long day at work, I want to turn off my brain for a little while. I want to hit people in the face with little duders and play some cards, like, and that's all you're looking for. Like, that's a fine thing to want in the game. But I also want to have games that are hard and challenging and like really flex my mental muscles like that. And it really is frustrating sometimes when it feels like there that isn't quite as available in this form. So this is to me the best implementation of this like high skill cap, high complexity game that makes it really interesting and satisfying.
Yeah. Somebody's asking. Mythunderman is asking, do you have to use an event ticket for the Call to Arms event? No, you do not. That is free for everyone to play.
Yeah, do we know how... Okay, so it's featured until December 14th.
Do you think that's when the new expansion comes out, maybe? Because it's to December 14th?
Nah, I know that's pretty unlikely. I mean, there might be some other events that they do that are, like... I wouldn't be surprised if they tried something fun for Christmas, but we'll have to see for it. I think that for right now, they're probably just going to be focusing on ironing out various issues with the client, etc. Because there are still, like, minor bugs here and there that I've been encountering.
Wait, Mythunderman also said ties into Mars character coming out. So, do you know, Neon, about the new Dota 2 character called Mars?
I know that there's one coming. I thought that it's in the winter, is what they said. Technically, winter starts on the 21st of December, but that doesn't really mean very much. Do they have an announcement about when Mars is coming?
Well, Mythunderman says that it ties into the Mars character coming out. And that could make a lot of sense if they're gonna do a new event then, because there is some theories about Mars in the artifact lore. Like, for example, Legion Commander and the Bronze Legion may be worshipping Mars as their god. So, you know, it could be. I don't know. That's an interesting detail, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there, but I think this, to me, this is just like an intro event that they wanted to do as like a good way to give people a taste of different things that can happen in Constructed for it. So it's a good intro event like that. But yeah, I have been having a lot of fun with doing the draft. I've also just only done the draft so far. I think that people mostly know this is that the store isn't open yet, and so they're probably figuring things out for that on the back end still. I am really excited for being able to try out some Constructed stuff, but I'm personally not willing to spend the hundreds of dollars on buying packs and just hoping to get the stuff that I want, when it'll probably be cheaper to just buy up the singles when the store actually goes live. I've just never been somebody who's like particularly into just opening packs. It just doesn't do a lot for me.
No,
so, I don't know.
It's okay. That's my one flame against this game is just how fucking boring it is to open packs. There should be a button to just click open all and then put them straight into your collection and not have to actually open them all, because that's so fucking boring. Like, I had 50 packs to open the first day, and it took like just an hour just to open them all, you know? And I didn't do the thing where I go through one card at a time. Like, I just swished through all of them, and it still took so fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, different people have different, like, degrees of which that they're into. There are people who love pack opening streams, by the way. Like, that is a huge thing. And I just have never got it. It does not make sense to me. Because it's just like, I don't know, they're cards. Some of them are better than others. But yeah, no, I've been drafting a bunch. We were talking a little bit off here. We can go through this. In terms of like what we prefer drafting. You were saying that you're being into green-black, right?
Yeah. That's my favorite color combo in draft. If I like every draft, I look for if I find a lot of good red cards or blue cards. Like, you can notice pretty early what other people are picking, so you can see what there's a lot of cards left of. But if there is a lot of green and black, that's typically what I always try to aim for, just because in my experience that has been the most stable way to win, with the most answers to everything and the hardest thing to counter and most cheeky plays potentially. I even I think, I'm not sure 100%, but I think when I did have you seen the newest Dexposito video by Sir Action Slacks?
I saw some bits of it, yeah.
Yeah, and in it
he like a little like intro article to the Dexposito like series that is up going to be up in the artifaction site really soon. So I knew about that was going to be coming. Yeah.
Yeah. In his deck, he has Rix and Ravenous Mass, right? And Cheating
Sure.
Death. And I drafted a deck that did that specific thing. I had Ravenous Mass. Thanks for following, Slim Kit. And I had Ravenous Mass, Rix, and Cheating Death. And I can't remember if that was the one I did the perfect run with, or if it was just another. But I'm pretty sure it was the one I did the perfect run with. Just because black and green is so fucking strong. Even if you don't do that combo, like, there's still so many other things you can do, you know? So.
Yeah, there's definitely, I would say that for both of those, there is this very solid base of just very generically powerful cards. Like, there's, like, the 4-drops in both of the decks are really stupid, like, Pick Off, Hipfire, Standard Duelist, Salvage Cleric.
Yeah, thanks for that cheer, Dash Killer. Thank you so much. Yeah, what are you saying?
There's just a lot of really sweet stuff that is going on there. What are your ranking of some of the heroes? I like Lich is insane. I've drafted him. I haven't drafted Tinker yet, so I think I was against him once. He seemed pretty good there. But like other ones, Phantom Assassin is definitely quite good. Sorla has been great for me.
Sorla is probably my favorite one from Black, and then after Sorla, maybe Tinker or Sniper. But one thing I've noticed with Tinker and Sniper is that their bodies are so small, and for draft specifically, I feel like it's more important to have bigger bodies because it's easier to play around, you know, in draft. But I don't know, Sorla is definitely my favorite.
Sniper has definitely not impressed me. Like, he's like fine, but I don't, especially when you're always comparing it to Debbie as the baseline there. Like, Debbie's quite good, and like I think that Sniper is probably better than Debbie, but not by a ton from me. Like, you also have to get to the late game, which it's always like one of those things that is a serious cause, especially when you're in a green-black deck specifically, because you have such powerful late game from the green spells that I feel like filling your deck with a bunch of assassinates if you don't need to doesn't feel good. So I would rather have something like Phantom Assassin if I could.
But that's the thing, though, with green and black and draft in specific, because the games go so long, you can almost guarantee that you will be able to get to the mana 7 turn, and then just having the assassinate to essentially remove a hero or even a unit from a lane that you're missing lethal from is so fucking good. Like, Sniper is one of the best heroes, in my opinion, in the entire game, just because of his signature card. Because you can, from any lane, snipe any hero and essentially silence an entire lane. It's so good.
I guess, actually, I'll say with this one is that I actually don't think that I've played myself with Sniper yet, because I think other people are valuing it higher than I am. I don't know why. I just haven't been seeing it. But, like, if you, for instance, like, pack one, pick one, if you had, like, a Sniper available to you, like, how highly would you pick that?
Well, if it's the first hero in the deck when I first open it, maybe I wouldn't, unless it's like the last pack or the second last pack and I'm missing a black hero for the deck I try to go for. I don't think I would pick him that early. I don't know. It really depends on the draft, but I value him pretty highly. Probably the second after Sorla Khan in black, maybe even higher than Phantom Assassin. I'm not that impressed with Phantom Assassin compared to Sniper and Bounty Hunter and Sorla too for draft.
I think that Phantom Assassin is probably better. I haven't played her in Constructed yet, but she's probably better in Constructed than she is in draft, because the card advantage feels like it matters a decent amount in some games, and like there's like really particular cards that you need to have. So like, for instance, if you're discarding something like your fatty that you have in hand, that feels so bad.
Yeah. But a question in the chat is about the family and friends beta key thing, which I don't really understand. Do you know what that is? I've heard about it, but I haven't.
No idea. This was something that came up in some like Twitter posts or whatever. It sounds like there's going to be a fuck ton of beta keys going out to people. I don't know. I think that we'll probably get more information about that soon. Like maybe what is going to end up happening is that they're going to like hand us like all of the beta testers, like, hey, here are 3 beta keys to give away to spread something like that. I'm not sure, because I think that like it seems like what they're doing right now for this beta period is really just a ramp up in order to keep their test their servers, right? Like, this isn't a beta, like a balancing beta in any capacity.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's just not enough time for that. But it seems to be more for the purposes of stress testing their servers to make sure they're keeping up with the demand. So and ramping people up on it slowly. So maybe that's kind of how it's going to be, and then we'll see like a big explosion of the number of people who are playing the game.
Mm. So you don't think it's like family sharing on Steam, that you can share a game with your family? You don't think it's something like that?
I've never done that before, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Really? Well, you
Yeah,
can
no.
if you've bought a Steam game, then you can share it with a family member, so that or just a friend. You know, it can be anyone, so that they can play the games you have paid for, as long as you don't play them at the same time.
So for me, like, I tend to be the kind of guy who like picks a game and then just goes like really fucking hard in like one game. So I play a lot of Eternal, and I do not play a lot of other games before, like other than that up until now. Now I'm starting to play a lot of Artifact. I'm still going to put some effort into playing Eternal as well to keep up with things that are happening on there. But I know there are a lot of other people like that are different than me and like to go from game to game to game. Nope. I like to hyper focus on one thing and then just get really invested in just that.
Well, I saw a pretty concerning screenshot about Gwent on Twitch, that nobody watches that game right now because everybody watches Artifact instead. Is it a similar thing about Eternal, that nobody's playing right now because Artifact beta is out?
I don't think so. I haven't, like, things are still kind of like working themselves out a little bit, that there's still like a sort of response. I'll actually just do a quick check. Eternal. See, Eternal has actually been having some interesting releases in progress. I mean, part of it with Gwent too. I don't know how much do you know about Gwent really? Like, I mean, we all
Nobody
like
knows
that,
anything
like,
about
who knows
Gwent.
Gwent? Gwent is, like
Nobody
like,
even knows
kind of
Gwent
thing.
exists.
What's that?
Nobody knows anything about Gwent because nobody even
Yeah.
knows that game exists.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a meme for that. But like, how much do you know about the history of Gwent?
Nothing. I know that apparently it used to be really good, but then they did some updates that kind of fucked up the game. Like, they basically made it a new game, like, over and over again after every update, and that really turned some people off, or something like that. I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, so the game has been going through, like I'm not going to go through the whole history because it's really complicated and weird, and I never played the game myself, so you'd have to, like, get somebody from, like, Swim to talk about it in more detail, but, like, it was really good at the beginning, but the game kind of got solved to a certain degree from what I understand it, and as a result it got really stale, so they tried to do some things to fix that. The people didn't like it, so it kind of went into this hibernation phase where they tried to fix the game, and then they recently kind of re-released at, like, now, so it's kind of like went through this very strange arc of drama and weirdness and nobody really being happy with the state of the game, and that it just kind of, like, quote unquote re-released, like, back in October, which is not a great time since you have Artifact that's coming in, like, just like kind of like shortly thereafterwards to really, like, you know, step on a lot of your buzz.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I think, part of it too. And then when you also, in addition, you have people like Life Coach, you have people like Swim who are moving over to Artifact, it does diminish some of the excitement for that. So we'll have to see how Gwent kind of does over the course of the next, you know, year or two or whatever. But the game is definitely in a very weird spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just actually did a check on Eternal. Eternal's been doing, honestly, pretty well, all things considered. In some respects, I think that it's a little bit different of an audience. I think that, you know, how I was talking about this idea of, you know, Artifact is this, you know, try-hard game, you're really, you know, engaging or whatever. I think that in many respects, Gwent is very, is in a similar space and in a similar demographic that it's aiming towards. Eternal, like, you can play Eternal seriously, or you can play it just kind of like for fun, and it has that variation within it. So it's not quite as, like, head to head of a competition between Eternal and Artifact compared to some other games.
The Pungeon Roy is saying volume is low. Is it only Neon or both of us?
I can turn myself up.
Well, it can be I have to do it on my OBS. But is it both of our volumes are low or only Neon? Okay, I'll turn up desktop audio.
Neon. Okay. Yeah, it's probably just through that because like on the Zencastr, it's looking like I'm pretty loud. I'm usually pretty loud.
Volume is fine, somebody else says. Okay, I'll turn it a little bit down then. Something in between.
I can hear you both guys just fine. Good to hear.
Okay, what about now, the Pungeon Roy? Is it better? Now it's fine. Okay.
Now it's fine. Cool. Okay, so yeah, there's been a lot of stuff happening in that respect. I'm interested to see how these different games sort of progress with that. Actually, another thing that do we have anything else we want to talk about related to that before we move on to some other topics?
No, I think that's pretty fine.
Okay. So one that I wanted to highlight was actually from a Twitter conversation between Sir Belvedere and the Play Artifact account. So this was so Belvedere, Jake Walker, Artifact is making the same mistake Dota did. No progression system in the start. People like that shit to stay hooked to the game. Dota Plus addressed a bit of this, but I hope Artifact can fix that up from the start. Response: progression is top of the list of things we want to tackle post-launch. Matthew Folks, he's somebody who's a beta tester. While we are addressing problems, having MMR affect matchmaking in paid play with monetary prizes is really frustrating. Play Artifact: Gauntlet matching isn't trying to create 50-50 win rates. It simply rejects wild mismatches. The most highly skilled players won't match against the weakest players, but everyone who should notice they win more as they improve their skill. So this relates to a comment that was made in some of these like beta update posts where they talk about not what was it? They're saying that there was some amount of MMR and matchmaking that was being done in those games to get players of similar-ish skill, and people were kind of upset by this because it feels like this is trying to push everybody to a 50% win rate, which means that it's hard, for instance, to go infinite. And it feels like it's kind of punishing to people who are like, if you're a player who is solidly above average but maybe not a god, you would really get hurt if there was a strong matchmaking component to this, because it means that there's always like you're going to be matched up against people of similar players as opposed to being able to dunk on people who are worse than you. So what they're saying here then is that basically what they're going to do is reject matches between really good people and really bad people. But other than that, everything seems to be fair game, which I thought was actually really interesting.
We are being raided, Neon.
Being raided! Sons of bitches. Stromboli? What's a Stromboli?
Tyler, you piece of shit.
Yeah, man. We'll survive the Strombolis. I don't know what that is, but we'll survive it. Is Tyler in the chat? Where is that son of a bitch?
Thanks for following.
Yeah. So, for those of you who are just joining us, we are the Secret Shop podcast. We talk about Artifact stuff on a weekly basis. We're just kind of like talking about stuff that's been going on in the beta as of late, and some of the updates with things like the changes to draft, or to Gauntlet rather, so there's no longer the clarifying how the matchmaking system works there. If you guys have some conversations that you guys want us to address that we haven't talked about yet, then I would love to have that.
What is the point of Twitch raids? Like, what is the objective?
What's that?
Understand. What is the point of Twitch raids? I don't understand. Is it Coca-Cola in a wine glass? Are you crazy? Do you think I'm such an uncultured swine that I would put Coca-Cola in a wine glass? It's Pepsi Max. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I am a sophisticated, cultured gamer. I don't drink Coca-Cola.
I drink Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is delicious.
Thanks for following.
Actually, seriously though, what is I don't remember ever even having Pepsi Max. What is the difference between Pepsi and Pepsi Max?
I'm glad you asked. The thing is, Pepsi Max has every nutrient you need. Every single vitamin, every single mineral, everything you need is in Pepsi Max. And it's a very good source of protein too. Thanks for following, everyone. That's very kind of you. So, yeah, that is the difference. Coca-Cola is just sugar. Pepsi Max is pure nutrients.
Oh,
it has
very
electrolytes
nice,
too.
I think we all need to
I had no idea. I will have to do some research into this and like seriously look into that. But yeah, no, I've been really having a lot of fun.
You're being interrupted by that donation.
Do you think food is good?
Got a donation
My
from
grandfather
VNN.
is dead. I think Half-Life
Love
is
each
a
other,
good
Italian
game
food,
and
and
play.
Anglermania, personal who is cool and stuff. I am
Thanks
hungry.
for-
I think I want to eat some food. I didn't see the rest of that.
Thanks for the donation. Thanks for the follows, guys. It's very, very kind of you. Oh my god. Tyler, you fucking bitch. We're trying to do a podcast here.
Yeah, man. Come on. Control ourselves. But it's very fun to have all of you here. But yeah, it's actually from other people. I'm interested to hear your thoughts now about the game. Of like, what are some of the things that have surprised you for those of you who are actually playing Artifact? You know, those who had a chance to try it. Like, are you really liking the draft format? Are you feeling like it's a little bit too complicated, especially for those who maybe haven't been following it as closely? Because for me, I picked it up pretty quickly. I knew that it would take me at least a couple days of trial and error before I really felt comfortable with it. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it right now, since actually playing the game is different. But I'm really interested in what other people feel about this.
About the new draft, you mean?
No, yeah, about the game.
Oh, about the game.
Like,
Well-
wow, you still haven't modded me in your chat.
Oh.
I was trying to post the link to the YouTube channel where we have the other episodes of it, but you have not yet modded me. Donate $50. Yeah, go donate all of the things. Give to her addiction of Pepsi Max. I'm mod. Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice, Tyler.
Korsets are for spending money on who you are now catch.
One of these days I will get to be a mod.
Thanks for the donation. Mario is a hair on my ass. I didn't see it. Some of the message cut off. Wait, hold on. Let me just check. Coaches are for spending money on. Do you own a couch? I do actually own a couch.
Wait, what was the name of that? Mario has a what? Hairy ass or something like that? What is that?
Are you Tyler GF? No, I am Tyler Mom.
Tyler Mom, jeez. This is live from Norway, indeed. Can we see a picture of your couch? This is now a couch stream.
Do you need couch proof? Couch reveal at 1,000 followers. So get following.
I like it. How many followers do you have right now? 300.
Sure, yeah.
It seems. This is my mom. Very nice. But yeah, no, you've been doing some streaming for the game. Have you been finding that difficult to do? Is it easier or harder than you expected? Like, what has been your experience from doing that?
Streaming the game?
Yeah.
Well, I actually thought it would be harder than it actually is, but like I think Crip discovered when he was playing Hearthstone and Magic and Artifact at the same time, because it's a pretty slow game, so streaming and being distracted by the chat and all of that, it's not really that detrimental. The only problem I could imagine is if you're a big streamer and having a lot of people snipe into you. I could imagine that's a problem, but because I'm a little shit, that hasn't been an issue yet. And it's not very distracting to, do other things while playing. I don't know, at least that I've noticed.
Yeah, I think that the stream sniping thing is like an issue kind of no matter what. You can always set yourself to anonymous, though, which I think is a really cool function. I hadn't seen that before in other games. And actually, no, I think I have seen that in Hearthstone. People sometimes do that at the end of the season kind of area, but it seems like a good function to turn that off a little bit.
You think people should be anonymous just to avoid stream snipers?
Well, no, I mean, if you care about that, right? Like, if you're somebody who's like, for instance, if I'm like, let's say that I'm
you're getting interrupted.
That I wish to imply you have been
I mean,
sleeping
you're
on
getting
the
free
job.
money, so I'm not gonna like complain about it. You know,
Deserving
on
of
behalf.
ours.
I mean, it's very nice people to
And
give
all
you
the
all
effort
these
in the world
donations.
would have gone
Half-Life
to
fanboy,
waste
Rise and
until...
Shine, Mr. Freeman, Rise. Okay,
Well,
that's
Letis
Half-Life.
just saying
I don't think
our
anyone
house
can hear
come
you
again.
over the donation. Rise and shine, Mr.
See,
Freeman. Rise and shine.
I can't hear it, so
Oh.
that's actually like if it's like reading it out, then I just don't know what's happening.
Thanks so much for the donation, Half-Life fanboy.
But yeah, no, you. So like doing that has been a lot of fun. I've been watching a lot of other people stream or too. Like, you know that Sing Sing has been doing a lot of streaming as well.
Yeah.
Been watching some of his stuff. That's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to catch some swim stream, but it's not really been lining up with my schedule really well for that. But I hope to catch more of that soon. He's streaming right now, honestly.
Yeah. I remember when the newest Gwent update came out, he streamed for like 12 hours straight for like 3 hours. 3 days in a row. He's fucking nuts. I get super tired after only like 4 hours of streaming. I'm like super exhausted. I don't understand how he does it.
I mean, like part of it too is just the experience of doing it too. Like if you've done it a lot, you had the built up the resistance, built up the practice for it. It makes a really big difference for being able to do that effectively. Yeah.
It's not actually wine. It's Pepsi Max because we are sophisticated, cultured gamers. We don't drink Pepsi straight off the bottle here, okay? We're not savages.
Yeah, this is how everybody does it in Norway. Is I think everyone, like when you go to like the like the fountain drinks or whatever in the restaurants, they always serve them in the wine glasses to you guys. Is that how it is?
Yeah, nobody ever drinks anything without the wine glass.
Well, no, I mean, like, just Pepsi.
Okay, you're getting interrupted again.
The thing that people have to do that. I mean, I imagine that, like water and stuff, you don't always need to have a wine glass. But would you feel, is it Pepsi specifically, or just everything you drink?
You're getting interrupted by a donation again.
Oh, shit. Suspicious email behind on mine.
People just giving you, like, all this money. This is the best, like, Twitch stream raid ever. Just being like, hey, we're gonna show up and throw money at you. Mid-sentence.
Thanks for the donation, Barney Culhon. This is some references I'm not really getting. Is it to Half-Life or something?
Yeah, I have not played Half-Life, and have you played Half-Life?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think I should say that with Tyler's viewers, because I know they love Half-Life. So maybe I should pretend to love Half-Life too.
Yeah. Yeah, what? Shame. What?
Shame.
Yes. I was like waiting. It's like there's just
I'm sorry. Half-Life is my
they
favorite game.
Fucking lose it. Yeah, those are Half-Life references. I figured that.
Especially Half-Life 3 is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, Half-Life 3, aka Artifact.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, one of these days I will have a chance to check ditch the Nerds Half-Life. Yeah, they are very happy with us. I appreciate that. Just triggering them all. It's great. So was there anything else related to the world of Artifact that you wanted to discuss while we're here today? Your plans over the next little while, for example. Do you have anything that you have that you're working on right now?
I have actually a specific lore video about Call to Arms, which is, this set, which I hope will come out tomorrow. Just about the basic lore of the entire game, how all the different characters intertwine and work together.
That's really good, because
You're getting interrupted again.
Sorry?
You're getting interrupted.
Oh, cool.
By a bunch of poops.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Thanks for the donation. Poop, poop, poop.
Yeah, the crappy donation.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Yeah. So, but the artifact lore. What are some of the things that are going on with it? Because I am going to try sometime soon to see if we can get Sir Action Slacks maybe on the cast when Simon's back here, so we can all discuss the lore together. Because there's obviously a lot going on. Like, is there some of the stuff that you've seen through the lore that you can talk about that you think is interesting? Like for example, I think I heard you talking about that like Kana is responsible for the Dire coming into existence. Is that true?
Not for the Dire coming into existence, but she is the priestess of the Dire and rebelling against her mother, who is the priestess of the Radiant, and she might be what's leading the Dire and recruiting Dire melee creeps, but that's not 100% sure yet. But I think I know the location of the Dire. The location of the Radiant, as we know, is Roseleaf, if I'm correct. But also, the Dire, I think, is in Stonehall, because if we look at the homepage of Artifact, what we see here in the background is something that resembles the Dire Ancient, and it looks a lot like something that could be Stonehall. And it also makes sense if you look at the Dota map that you actually play Dota on. The Radiant and Dire is on basically the same place. Roseleaf and Stonehall are nearby each other. And you know, the Bronze Legion worshipping the god of war might suggest that could be Dire, and it's Dire that they are worshipping. So, yeah.
Interesting. The exact spot in the Mars teaser trailer. Can you see that exact spot in the Mars teaser trailer? I don't know. I think the teaser trailer, like, there's like the background, and it's all like red and like misty and stuff. I don't think so. There, me Thunderman. But I could be wrong. But yeah, like do we know very much about Jolixia? Because that's one that I'm curious about. Because she's the card fawn. That's all I know, really. But is there anything beyond that we know about her?
Also, on the homepage of Artifact, if you look at the tiny purple window up here on the turtle. Hold on, there's a donation.
I would water the trees with the entrails if Selemene would smile on me. I remember when Nova tried to kill me, good girl. He was once the scourge of the plains, a terror on the wind. What håper du enemies think they have?
The donation voice is so funny. It's a robotic Norwegian accent voice. Thank you for the donation.
Before, so I can't hear it right now, so I'm just like I have to wait for it. Like it sit in silence while that's happening. But I heard it before, and it's silly.
Thank you for the donation, Luna, the Queen of Dota. Is that a quote? But yeah, if you look at the homepage of Artifact, there is a purple window there on the turtle. And we can see Jolixia walking past the window a few times. It's like a female figure with horns, so I can only imagine that's Jolixia. And she's also the card fawn, and she's seen on all the item cards, talking about the lore of the cards. And so I think she's the shopkeeper of Artifact, actually. And also one interesting thing is that her colors and her design is very much like the red and blue imp. But we don't really know much beyond that.
I do like the turtle shop thing, though. It's a very cute little touch. We don't know anything about it in terms of, like, what it's doing there, do we?
The shop?
Like, is there a story behind this house that is shown in so much of the artwork?
Well, it's just because the shopkeeper in Dota as well has a big mount he's riding around on with all the items inside, so this could be the equivalent just for Artifact. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But like for instance, that one has in some ways like a lore tie-in of what it's supposed to be, as I understand it, because he's like working for the ancients and is like selling items like for them or something. Because I know that he's like protected by the ancients or something like that. Right?
That's also something interesting because if you look at her colors, she has one red and one blue eye. That could like be the Radiant and the Dire, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. That she also represents both ancients.
Yeah, I think that we're probably going to get like more of this because it's very clear that they put a lot of thought into some of the lore that's going on in this game, but it feels as in many ways as if there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm very curious how it's going to all fit together as things evolve.
Yeah. No, I think that the lore of Artifact is amazing. It's a lot of the Dota lore is very scattered and has been very hard to make sense of. Even like what Sir Actionslax has done, I don't think people realize how fucking like amazing work he's done, like putting so much order to so much chaos. And now with Artifact, there's so many more red threads we can find between things, and a lot of things make so much more sense. So now looking at Lorgasm is easy after Slax has already defined some things and found some things, but just searching only with the scattered pieces and bits around, it's really hard to actually make cohesive theories that make sense all around. So I think it's people don't realize like how fucking difficult what he did was.
Yeah, no, it is something that I kind of like see it, because you do have to piece it together through all of these different chunks of the information. So it's not like a cohesive thing of you just sit down and you read a book and then you offer a digest of that. No, it's you have to go through and look at the different items, look at the different texts, and hear the different voice lines and piece stuff together from that. And it's always hard to know how much of it is just like, are they just throwing stuff out there that isn't supposed to necessarily fit together for a cohesive story, or is it actually supposed to be this underlying logic that everything fits together and works together in a certain way? And it's always hard for me to kind of read what's going on in that respect.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, was there anything else that we wanted to discuss? Also, is there anything else that the audience wanted to talk about before we on our way out? AAA Login asks if you will marry them.
How much do you make a year?
How many artifact packs can you buy from me, bitch?
Okay, no, I think that's it. I'm really itching to play right now, so.
Okay, yeah, we got you all hyped up for it. I see that you have an Enchantress in the pack there, but yeah, that was lovely to chat with you guys, and that'll be it for today. And obviously, I think that you're going to continue streaming after this, but for now, the podcast can be done. Unless just plugging things on the way out the door. Did you mod me yet? Or
I think I did. I think you're modded.
Yeah, modded now. So I just posted a link to my YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out who are in here that are for the cast. I put all of the episodes of the podcast up there. I also do analysis videos on a regular basis. You can find some information there as well about submitting videos to that in order to have videos for me to analyze, because I want to get suggestions from the audience as well. But so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that'll do it for me today. Anything else you want to say on our way out the door?
Thanks for being on my stream, and it's always super enjoyable to talk with you, and yeah, hope everyone checks
sure
out your channel.
I'll be around again. Oh,
the other
BT Dubs, you have Meepo up there right now? I had a sick Meepo deck. I'm not even joking.
Meepo is pretty good. Deck. I like Meepo, especially with Time of Trial.
He's really fun in draft.
But one thing, I think I'm gonna end the stream when we end the podcast, but then I'm gonna restart the stream, so don't go anywhere.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna restart the stream and we're gonna play some draft games. So just stay for 2 minutes and then we're gonna set the stream back up. So don't go anywhere. Okay.
Okay. And then how peace is that what happens next?
Yeah, peace. Okay, be right back, guys.